Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo, and again, it's con season, but we're in the eye of the storm, I think. A lot of companies teasing, getting ready for the craziness that is usually San Diego Comic-Con. That is not happening this year, but we're so used to having reveals then that the companies still do it. But that's not stopping some companies, and when it comes to that, there's going to be quite a bit of Robo Don't Know this episode. A ridiculous amount, in fact. So we're just going to get it out of the way right here. Just Robo Don't Know a thing. Forsooth, yon Robo knows nothing. Don't know a thing. Don't know a thing. That surprised me. I didn't know I was going to do that. It can't be helped. I can't know everything. I have my own preferences, the things I enjoy, but when it comes to 1/12 scale action figures, I'm a window shopper. It doesn't matter the property. I like looking at the paints, the sculpts, the articulation, the engineering. So if that's the kind of thing that annoys you, too bad. You clicked the video, you knew exactly what you were getting into. Just lean back, relax, reach down, and pull that stick out, because it's just toys, come on. Kicking things off for the 5th week in a row, here's Boss Fight Studios Popeye Classics. 4 weeks running, every time I would finish up the weekly, put the bow on top, post it to Patreon, I'd go to socials, see that Boss Fight either did a new reveal or a new picture. With each reveal, I would say, I hope they post a group shot, that way we can get an idea of relative scale between the figures, and ba-boom. As soon as I posted last week. And these look absolutely fantastic together. Castor Oil is small, as he should be, and then Bluto is appropriately big. And then Popeye and Olive Oil are somewhere in between there. Looking at this, if the line doesn't continue past Wave 1, which I'm hoping it does, we need all the Popeye characters we can get. But if it doesn't, this is still a damn respectable Popeye display. Pre-orders for these open up next Tuesday, July 13th, so if you're a Popeye fan, go secure them, show them some love. Tell Boss Fight we need more beyond this. And going up for pre-order on Tuesday.
I'll have a hamburger, for which I will gladly pay you Tuesday.
Absolutely brilliant. Oh, already jumping on that Robo Don't Know train. Last week I actually missed that Good Smile Company teased their Figma Doomslayer. My only experience with the Doomslayer is the McFarlane figure, so I knew what I was looking at when this popped up. It's just that I have nothing beyond that. I've never played Doom. But like I said, I'm a fan of action figures, so when I look at this, I'm intrigued by the paint job, the fades, the gradients, the shading, how it looks kind of fuzzy, but it looks cool too. Maybe that's all on purpose. I also find it fascinating that they took the picture at this angle. I get it, it's a tease. They didn't want full frontal. But this angle also hides most of the articulation. You see the cuts, but no joints, except that very distinct Figma joint on the back left elbow. As far as I know, this is the only picture we have. No solicitation yet, so we should learn more in the coming weeks. It's got to go up at some point. Rolling on with the teases. Well, we're used to that from Medicom, but this week we got a little glance at the MAFEX DC Cyborg Superman. I guess they're ramping up for their monthly pair of solicitations, even though I got 4 or 5 emails saying the figures that we're doing this month have been pushed again. You know that machine that you see at some restaurants, maybe pool hall, maybe bowling alley, where you put the quarters in and it goes down the ramp and it falls on top of a bunch of other quarters and the table's moving back and forth, and you keep playing it, you keep chucking quarters, and every now and then you'll have a quarter fall back off, but it never really just avalanches. I feel like that's Medicom's business plan. We just keep chunking quarters down, hoping for toys to fall off the front, and they trickle out, but most of the time we're just watching them kind of. Some people have pointed out that in most cases, Cyborg Superman is shown with black on the metallic side of the S shield. Maybe if we make enough noise, Medicom will change this before it actually releases. I mean, we have at least 1.5 years. That's plenty of time, right? Or not, since it's very rare that they change something after the prototype is shown. They have a new trend of adding things to releases before they get out, but this is an actual paint change. I don't know. We'll see. Now, I wonder what the other figure could be. Is it going to be Marvel? Is it going to be something else? Has it already gone up as I'm recording this because Medicom likes to do that stuff on the weekend? I've been standing here for 5 minutes trying to figure out how I can fit teases into signs everywhere, signs. But it doesn't work. It comes out as tease, and then that makes me think t-shirts. So, whatever. Last month, a listing for the Super7 G.I.Joe reaction figures leaked out, so they had to make a statement saying, yes, G.I. Joe announcement is coming. Kind of blew the surprise because this week we got this tease and they're doing more than just reaction. I mean, we kind of figured that, right? But it's nice to have confirmation and an announcement that there will be an announcement next week. If you look real close, you can plainly see that it says reaction, then it says Ultraman, and then Cyborg, but I can't quite figure out what it says beside codename. Some people say Zaymot, but the X doesn't work. There's a line on top. I'm going with what a lot of people are speculating, where it says fan first with a 1, which is kind of on the nose when it comes to making a Hasbro property, but I don't know, maybe it's something else. And we'll be talking about this on the next weekly. This week, Loot Crate gave us a progress report on their exclusive NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 movie, Danny Pennington.
It's just Dan now.
Okay. Dan. Coming along great. I love that they were able to get the Sid Vicious shirt on them. Seems a little light in the accessory department, coming only with the alternate head with the headband and then the Walkman, but I guess there wasn't a lot else they could throw in here, except maybe a wallet. But like Armagon from last week, if you didn't get in on the original deal, you're going to have to go to eBay if you're wanting this, because it was just that short window, and then, well, they haven't even started shipping these out yet, but progress is good. If you're wanting the Storm Collectibles Golden Axe Gilius Thunderhead and Chicken Leg Pack, that's now up for pre-order on all your favorite online retailers. The promo pictures look amazing. The colors really pop. The greens, the eyes, the white of the beard. But the pictures that feature other characters in this line, it raises some concerns over the size here. Like here, facing off with the skeleton, he seems really, really big. He looks great with Death Adder, then you come back around where he's sitting on Chicken Leg, and he seems big again. And I get it, Chicken Leg is supposed to be small, but the determining factor here would have been a picture with the actual Axe Battler to give us a size comparison between those two. If you're interested though, $135 ships in October. But Storm Collectibles doesn't stop there this week, and it's even more Golden Axe. Kinda. Bluefin announced their 2021 event exclusives, and they kicked it off with Deathbringer, who is just a color swap with Death Adder, but I think if I were into the line, I'd prefer this. I really like the comic book villain colors used here. It makes it more visually interesting than regular dude in skimpy red gear. I mean, he's a huge dude in skimpy red gear, but you know what I mean. Also, at this point in this line, it's pretty common to get different color variations of the Skeleton 2-pack. And that's what we get here. And the more I look at these, the more they remind me of Harryhausen.
Hello, Robohausen. This is nice.
Not Danhausen. No, although love that Danhausen, but Harryhausen. Then jumping over to Darkstalkers, Dimitri gets his third repaint, which is cool. This is an exclusive, but I think the question on everybody's mind is, when are we getting Morrigan? I like a lot of designs from Darkstalkers. There's some big, crazy monster types, but when you think Darkstalkers, you think Morrigan, and it blows my mind that they didn't start off with her. Deathbringer is $120. The skeletons are $60, which seems like a great deal, and then Dimitri is $95. And they'll be available on bluefinbrands.com July 22nd. Remember back when I would talk about not ever seeing An American Werewolf in London, and y'all would post, oh, you should watch it, it's a great movie, and I'd be like, I probably should, I will as soon as I get a chance, and then I never did? Well, I've never seen The Godfather. No. Out.
Whatever.
Not today. Shit. Not that The Godfather has anything to do with the Filix Toys Mafia boss. Completely different character and different look and different accessories. Stop! That's sarcasm. Pull your fingers away from the keyboard. But dang, look at the likeness and the details. It's crazy, and the suit looks good at 1/12 scale. I have their Joaquin Phoenix Joker, and it's fantastic. I had a little problem with the leg, I think. Other than that, paints, sculpt, that's pretty good. The set comes with a cat, a chair, side table, and all kinds of nifty things to set the scene, like the telephone, candle, pen and paper, decanter, glass. Things. $130 ships early 2022, and if you click the link in the description, or if you find this on sale at certain places, you will see a non-refundable deposit of $25. I think the online stores get a lot of cancellations, so they want to lock people in. So if you want this, make damn sure you want this. But I could at least pick The Godfather out of a lineup. When the Sentinel Dorohedoro Cayman and Nikaido came up on my screen, all I knew was 1/12 scale articulated action figure. And that's not even true for both characters here. First, Cayman looks like a lizard-headed badass biker, and that's enough for me to give it a glance. Love the shape, love the paints, love the design, love most of the articulation and how it's integrated. The knees are a bit big, chunky double joint, and it breaks below the knee pad, which isn't bad. I'm all for experimenting, and we've seen this in other toy lines, but usually they break behind the knee pad. This is straight below it, so you get a big smooth spot that kills the look of the leg. But then the gas mask look dragged me right back into going, oh, it's possible I may get this. And then Nikaido is just a statue pack-in. I like the look, I like the design, but if it had joints, I would have been way more interested in buying this. And the addition of that statue makes the price on this thing $190. I mean, you know I'm not shy when it comes to dropping dollars on something that I'm just interested in to give it a test drive. It's a property I don't know, but ooh, that is getting a little bit out of my league. It kind of reminds me of the 1000 Toys Hellboy Abe Sapien, where one option came with the statue of Rasputin and it was higher priced, but they gave a cheaper option without that statue. If that was the case here, I think I'd be on it, but I don't need another, well, I don't need any statues for my collection. But that's not slowing Sentinel down. Just this morning, they solicited the Dorohedoro Shin and Noi? No. Everything I just said about Cayman and Nikaido applies here. I like the look of the articulated action figure. It's a nice looking suit body. I really dig the dirty sneakers. I like the alternate heads that, are they hearts? Is that what those are? Odd knees, statue pack-in, crazy price. At least they all look good together, so it has that going for it. If you're a huge Dorohedoro fan and can't do without these, like I said, they're about $190. The Cayman and Nikaido set is in January. Shin and Noi is in February. Speaking of 1000 Toys, just last night we got a press release for their re-edit Halo Infinite Master Chief Mjolnir Mark 6 Gen 3. That's a lot of words, and I understand Halo and Master Chief. I've never played Halo or as Master Chief, but I recognize Halo and Master Chief. I also remembered that 1000 Toys has done a Master Chief before, the Mark 5, but it's much smoother, and when I saw that, it was recognizable, I get it, but it seemed off. This is much more my mental image of Master Chief with all the crazy sculpted detail on the armor and stuff. And 1000 Toys is going to give you two options when it comes to Master Chief here. The regular version will have iconic MA-40 assault rifle, the CQS-48 Bulldog, and the Covenant Energy Sword. But there's also a PX exclusive version that comes with the Brute Shock Rifle and the Elite Bloodblade Energy Sword. But we're also still in expensive action figure territory here. The regular version is $150. It's up for pre-order on a lot of the import sites. The PX version will be $165, and it will be available through previews. As far as I can tell, both of them are the exact same figure, the same two basic weapons, a different colored blade, and then the PX just has the big honkin' rifle. I think that's right. Rifle, right? The Don't Know train is just a rolling along. Robo don't know, Robo don't know, Robo don't know. But everybody knows that Ultraman is beyond my realm of knowledge. There was a point in life, in my younger days, where I thought I was well-versed in all things pop culture, all things geek, all things nerd. But as I get older, I'm able to accept the fact that I don't know everything. Especially doing this thing every week. There's always something I see that's, oh, that's interesting. I don't know anything about it, but hey, cool. That's the whole point, right? Learning. I'm not doing intense research on every character I come across, but I learn to recognize it, and I learn little things from the comments, us going back and forth. Old dog, new tricks. That's the case with Ultraman. I couldn't have told you a damn thing whenever the Bandai Dynaction 16-inch $200 Ultraman was solicited a few months ago. Before that was the cloth-covered Mezco 1/12 collective figure that came with a bunch of accessories. Now we get to the threezero Figzero S 6-inch Ultraman. This one threw me off because when they throw zero into the name, I usually expect limited articulation or statue, but that is not the case here. I mean, he can even do the Terminator pose where he's down. Just a huge amount of range here, it looks like. And the reds and the silvers just pop out at you. They're so bright and shiny, and I can't looking at it. All for $60. Sure, it's stripped down with the only accessories being the hands, but it's a more affordable option if you're looking for an Ultraman for the shelf. Available for pre-order right now, drops in December. God, finally getting back to something I know about, at least when it comes to the vintage line and the old cartoon. I haven't followed a lot of stuff after that, but hey, I know Faker when I see him. It seems the Mattel Masters of the Universe Revelation Masterverse line isn't for everybody. The style just diverges more than some people care for. It's a departure from the original toy line with its squat, muscly. It swerves around the 2000X aesthetic. It looks, and it's like, oh, hey, and then passes on by. But then it takes the exit before we get to classics. That's on top of it having some Mattelisms, with some of the design elements, a proportion or two, some wonky articulation, but I'm having fun with it after doing some tweaks and swaps. So the deluxe Faker getting leaked this week has me interested, even if it doesn't have blue skin. He's Faker. If he's got blue skin, he ain't faking anybody. But in my headcanon, if they don't do this in the Revelation show, he starts out as a red-eyed He-Man. That's it. And then he messes up, gets found out, gets damaged, flesh and stuff blown away from his metal skin, and then he comes back blue, because at that point maybe they have something to detect him or something, but he's still a evil He-Man coming at him, so that's still freaky. And it's not just the Series 1 He-Man figure with some metallic paint on it. There's actual sculpted elements of under the skin and then the peeled back flesh. And then they threw in an orange power sword and Skeletor harness. Do I want a blue skinned Faker? Hell yes I do, but this works as an initial Faker, a fun toy to get out there as the line starts. And from the looks of it, just today I saw this picture where it looks like it's exclusive to Target. So maybe this is Target exclusive, and then the main line gets a blue Faker down the line. Who knows? Who knows? But Faker looks cool. Oh, remember the original hype for the Black Widow movie? Things around the world were just starting to shut down, but for toy manufacturers, it was too late to stop production, to stop shipping when it comes to their Black Widow toys that was supposed to come out for the original release of the movie. Movie got pushed back, and toys came out. No film hype behind them. Now that the movie is actually releasing, I think it's today, or this weekend, Bandai can now solicit their snowsuit Black Widow. I'm going to be honest, I haven't been buying a lot of the Marvel SH Figuarts the past few years, so it surprised me when they showed the two figures from the back, the black costume Black Widow from last year. I didn't know the hair was braided in the back. And then we saw the White Widow late last year at a virtual show, and I guess the angle didn't show the braid running down the side. So both of those things caught me by surprise. Even though the black costume Black Widow from last year with the ponytail will get more movement in the head, whereas the White Widow hair down is going to get all in the way, I like the look of the White Widow better. Seems her face fits her head this time around. The last year's big face. But this comparison also shows that the White Widow isn't just a color swap with the Black Widow. It's an, well, mostly new sculpt. They may use the forearms or something. This is a P Bandai exclusive though, so you may have to search around a bit to find a decent price because it's not general release. $65 ships in December. For Hasbro Transformers news, there is this ugly son of a bitch right here. The Hasbro Transformers Generations Selects, yes, those are all plural, Leader Class Galvatron popped up during Monday Fwoosh Live, and when somebody linked me to it, I looked and thought, wait, what is this? There was a recognition somewhere firing off in my brain, but I couldn't wrap my head around it until somebody said, those are the original toy colors. And even then, if you were part of the live, it was like seeing a Robo Don't Know happen as it happens, because I started to recognize it, but then I couldn't remember that it had red shoulders or the decals on the side that are all crazy looking and stand out really bad, but in a beautiful way. It wasn't until somebody said that the cannon barrel had glitter in it that snapped right into, oh, I did have that as a kid. Is it an eyesore? Yes, completely. Is it nostalgic as all hell? Yes, completely. I don't have the Kingdom Galvatron yet, but I've found myself several times this week hovering the pre-order button for this Galvatron, thinking, oh, this will be my shelf Galvatron because that's how I remember it. But then I go back to pictures of the Kingdom Galvatron in the purple, more movie accurate look and thinking, no, I need that for the shelf. But that looks pretty sweet too. I'm gonna end up with two Galvatrons. Damn it, Hasbro. You know how to just... Because there's also this, but it makes me realize it's been a while since we talked about Star Wars, and that, as everybody knows, bread and butter. Hasbro, who hates my recording schedule, decided to wait till an hour ago to reveal their Black Series PulseCon exclusives. First up, there's Trapper Wolf, who is sporting the package that we're used to when it comes to some of these drops. Have the fancy sleeve, slides out, figure, accessories have their own rooms because they've been bickering, and you finally convert that extra dining room that nobody ever goes and sits in into a bedroom so you can separate them. Bottom line, it's cool getting Dave Filoni into the line this quick. At least when it comes to Black Series time, you know? Yeah, it's a new head and helmet paint, but perfect exclusive. The other exclusive they announced, there's a sign for Robo Alley, and Hasbro just went right down the middle of it. The Cantina Showdown box set. I'm all over the retro cards from the late 70s, 80s that they've been doing, but when it comes to Power of the Force 2, that's what got me back into collecting. Just dragging me back in, kicking and screaming. I'm like, I have bills to pay. Oh, look at the toys. But inside the packaging, there's Obi-Wan, who was a featured character in that original Power of the Force 2 Cantina Showdown box set. When it comes to exclusives and box sets, you're always going to get a main character. Plus another shot at an Obi-Wan with photo reel. Dr. Evazan seems to be all new, which is appropriate because of his unique look in the movie. And that's another way box sets work. You get some reuse, or a lot of reuse, but then you get that unique character, and surprisingly, it's Dr. Evazan. But the focal point for me is Ponda Baba. Another alien for the shelf, looks awesome, but I also get the complaints that he looks slightly small. In the movie, his head is large. I mean, it's a mask that somebody's wearing, but the reuse of the ceremony Luke body, that may be throwing off our perceptions a bit. Shorter than Dr. Evazan, small under the head. But you get to the single shots of Walrus Man, and it seems okay. Plus he comes with alternate flipper hands. Hasbro. Then to go the extra mile, the bar inside the package is actual modular diorama pieces. Looking at the pictures, there's different configurations that you can use. And in the description, it says the Cantina Showdown playset combines with additional Cantina Showdown playsets to create a full scene inspired by Star Wars. Additional playsets sold separately, subject to availability. So if you get a couple of these sets, bigger bar. But at $104 a pop, plus being a PulseCon exclusive, additional sets, which they warn you about, subject to availability, may not be feasible for a lot of people. But even part of the bar being behind Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan and Obi-Wan, that's a good start, especially with limited shelf space. But if you want to build a bigger bar and you're a complete sucker for nostalgia packaging like me, you're going to try for an extra or two. Also, like past exclusives, I can see Ponda Baba getting a single release, maybe without the flipper hands. That's exclusive to this set. Maybe Dr. Evazan, different head, put it on a Rogue One card, something, change it up slightly. That's just me speculating, who knows. Like I said, $104 for the Cantina set, $30 for Trapper Wolf, will go up this fall when PulseCon kicks off. They haven't released or announced any dates yet. And that's all for this week. I thought it was going to be a shorter episode, but if you're interested in seeing any of these pictures up close without me all Robo Don't Know a thing, I'll be posting all of those, plus links to pre-orders, more information on the Fwoosh front page Saturday at noon. But if you can't wait that long, boop, description. And you'll notice the distinct lack of Marvel Legends news this week, which, is that the first time this year? At this point, we're kind of used to a tease or 2 or 6 reveals during the week. I even waited a little bit before starting to record today, which worked out because of the Star Wars news, but I was doing it because of Marvel Legends. But fear not, because it hath been announced that next week will be Marvel Legends Fan First Friday. We'll see how much leaks out before that, or they just flat out reveal, but it should be a Marvel-rific. It's going to be a Marvel Weekly next week, guaranteed. But if you enjoyed this weekly, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus. If you're interested in seeing videos early or just in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Fwoosh. If you watched the Snake Eyes review from this week, you saw the demise of Beef Boss. But you know that's not the last you've seen of him. I mean, he's a hamburger. Hamburgers get remade all the time, right? Or you go buy a fresh one. I have an idea for another character that is a chicken from the planet Fuggoff. And I have some ideas that kind of walk the thin line, but let me know in the comments if, and you know where this is going, if something like that already exists.